My father cannot fight, so I will take his place.
Everybody loves Mulan. They love this story. When I told people I was doing the junket, they were like, I have to know what you thought. So why do you think people are so attached to this particular princess story?
Oh, look, this story has been around since the 7th century, so there is something so potent about it that's captivated people for centuries. And I think it's her humanity, it's her courage, but it's her love, you know, her journey, hero's journey, certainly. Everything she does out of love for her family, her desire to bring honor to them, and her need to save her father's life. And that selflessness, I think, is very inspiring.
I feel like why is Mulan so important to so many people is I see her not just as a hero, but first human. And I think that movie itself is a universal language, but the humanity is also something everybody could feel. And the journey to be true to herself and to experience the not as true, and then to still have the courage to find a way home. Yeah, it's so whenever do fight scenes or ride horse, it's not just, it has to do what happened before and what's happening in her history. So that makes the fight and all the action make sense.
Excellent. And Nikki, you got to choreograph some amazing fight performers with Donnie and Jet and Yifei. I just want to know, like, was that the reason why you think this is the one that had to be PG-13? Because you knew you wanted to up the ante with both, like, the fight sequences and just how dramatic it was. Is that why?
Yes. It's a very adrenalized version of Mulan. Certainly for people who are more familiar with the animation. By bringing it into live action, you know, we have the opportunity to make the action really explosive and thrilling. But with that, we also have the emotion and the humor. We're trying to do it all here in this movie.
Yeah, I think it's so great. Like, to do this interview on, Women's Day, when I was talking to Donnie and Jet, they talked about your crew and how, like, the DP was female, makeup and camera operators. And so how does it feel to be, like, the first, woman to really tell one of these stories so, like, a huge Disney movie? That's got to be just incredible.
Yeah, it is. And, I'm really inspired by Mulan herself in that, and her commitment to being herself. She's not powerful until she sheds the disguise of being a young man and fights as a woman and as herself. And I feel the same for me. I directed this enormous movie to this huge epic vision, but as myself, as a woman. And I had a lot of women with me to tell that story. This is very female-led. So on International Women's Day, it's very satisfying to me to say, this is what we do, actually.
When they find out who you are, they will show you no mercy.
What was your first experience with Mulan? Because, like, a lot of folks, for me, it was the animated, but what about you?
Oh, when we grew up, we already know the story. In China, everybody knows Mulan, because the character, everybody Chinese mind say, you need a loyalty to the country, you need a devotion to your family. So the two things, it's really difficult to put it together. Usually action film, you need a loyalty, fight, beat them up, bad guy. So that's a memory. Even my daughter, they grew up, I don't know where they heard Mulan. They just love their idol, Mulan. Yeah.
Was your daughters a reason why you maybe wanted to do this a little bit? Because, be like,
yeah, in the beginning, I don't want to take the movie, And then my daughter say, can I ask 3 questions why you turned down the movie? I said, okay. She say, first, did you think promote Chinese culture is your responsibility in your life? I said, yes. He said, Disney spend $100 million put all the actor in China, the Chinese actor, then the story talk of Mulan. It's not a Chinese culture? Oh, I stocked. It's okay. The second, do you need a lot of money?
She's watching your
not
finances.
Really. He say, third, can you make the movie for me? And I said, done. That's it. I'm so glad that he put me there, work with wonderful group. The result, I think even everybody know Mulan, but this Mulan have a lot of fresh, new angle to share the culture to the younger generation.
Yeah, that's what I loved is how
Right?
it's its own
Yeah.
thing. What are you most excited for this crop of film fans to see in this version that maybe they don't know is coming when they see it?
Because, there have a lot of culture with a lot of angle, millions of people, everybody in their mind have one kind of Mulan. You cannot make everybody happy, You make Chinese, Eastern, everybody happy. But I think human is like a big family. We're living in the earth. But this Mulan, I think across the border, can show to the younger girls, to the world, everybody need to be tough, loyalty, truth, face to the difficult time. I think that is wonderful. It's an international Mulan.
I like that.
It's not the only traditional Chinese Mulan. I love it. Director, everybody did a wonderful job.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. They also had me crying. Also, I'm not gonna lie, watching it, I was like, Jet Li, they had me tricking on you that I couldn't tell it was you. but the minute I saw you fighting, I was like, oh, there he is. And then I saw Donnie fighting, and of course, I'm like, okay, there he is. But I'm just wondering, you guys reteaming? Did y'all maybe get together on set? See who could do the cooler moves, maybe?
No, not this time. Before, we're
Yeah.
best friends.
Yeah.
We always call each other. Even serving before, say you take the part, I take the part. We need to do it or not. We discuss. But really work on the side. I only saw her once. yeah. My character in this movie just talk more than acting. He did a wonderful job. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Both of y'all did an
Thank you.
absolutely wonderful job. And I have to ask this one, although I'm sure you've been asked it a lot of times. Who wins on the one-on-one? You and Donnie. I have my bet, but I'm not going to say.
Who want to fight the best?
Yeah, who's going to win on a one-on-one?
Yeah. The movie company. They will win. We're the director.
Best answer ever.
Yes,
Thank you
the
so much.
director.
What is your name, soldier?
Hua Jun, Commander, son of Hua Zhou.
We're going to make men out of every single one of you.
You've had some great entrances. Your entrance in this one is absolutely, I think, jaw-dropping.
I'm glad you liked it. I haven't seen the film, so I don't know.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen
I feel
it.
like I have a little secret. Well, I mean,
glad
but
to know.
you shot it. So talk about the fighting styles in this. You've done so many different types of fight choreography, but I feel like with this particular film, Niki was going for something really specific on camera.
She told me exactly what she envisioned, and she wanted how I play off Mulan. I mean, that's ultimately is about the movie itself, right? So for me, I just did my job, like any other movies. I came in with, as an actor, a professional actor, understanding the role, and I performed, and she liked it.
Well, obviously, it's pretty great. I can't wait for you to see it because I think you're going to agree with me. You have a great time on it. This Mulan, the legend, is kind of throughout Chinese culture, and you don't even probably remember the first time you heard the legend. I'm guessing it was probably when you were a kid. Is that when you first heard it?
Of course, this is based on the Chinese folk story, history, part of the Chinese culture. But more importantly, my daughter grew up with this, the cartoon version, Disney version, so I know all the songs inside out with my daughter, and we sang probably over 100 times. So for me, it's part of her childhood as well as my younger days.
Yeah. Jet mentioned that his daughters were a big reason why he said yes to do the movie.
Same here. Exactly the same.
And then he said that did y'all call each other, make sure that,
Yes. Are you doing the film? I said, yeah. Are you doing the film? I said,
he also said that he was a little jealous that you got to do more fighting than he did. He says his role is a little bit more talking.
Actually, I wish it's the other way around. I want to sit back and just kind of watch Yifei do her thing, right? But they want me to swing that sword around, so I did.
I agree with you that they did want you to swing the sword around. I enjoyed that a lot. What are you most excited about for folks to see with this particular Mulan, especially like what Niki did with the story? Because it's very different, but it's amazing.
I think to make it short, I think first of all you have to live up with the love for this piece from Disney, because we all love Disney, but I think particularly Mulan. Everyone loves Mulan. They represent a certain, in our era, especially now the Me Too movement, right? I think it's so important to show the world that female can do anything male can. I know firsthand because my mother, she was a grandmaster in martial arts. She used to teach in Boston, and she was my mentor, as well as I have a daughter, very powerful young lady, and my production company, my partner, my wife, who totally changed my life, and she's my boss, so I know how it is, as a the other part of the gender. Women are just simply beautiful, so this represents a whole lot.
I'm Hua Mulan. I will bring honor to us all.